Whoa. There's nothing better than hitting your local woods for a spot of night riding on your e-bike. It actually turns your regular trails into a totally different world. But there's lots of options out there when it comes to lights. So today's video, taking a look at all those different light options to help you guys get the most from your night riding. Night riding on your e-mountain bike is simply amazing. It can turn those trails that you ride regularly. You might have ridden that trail 100 times, but I can assure you if you hit that trail at night, it's going to be a totally different place. You're kind of going around in the silentness of the night. You're in your own little light bubble. You might be riding with some mates. It is an absolute blast to do. So get out there and hit the trails. The type of riding and where you're riding is definitely going to dictate what style of lights on your bike you need. But the big question you need to ask yourself, do you need to see or be seen? As a bare minimum, you're going to need a front and a rear light, especially if you're riding on the road. Now, if you're riding in a lit area, such as an urban environment, then you're going to get away with a cheap LED commuter style light. And combine that with a rear light, you're definitely going to be seen. But if you need to see in those off-road situations in the middle of nowhere where there's no street lights whatsoever, then you're going to need a big helmet or bar mounted light, which needs to be a minimum of 1,000 lumens. Then of course there is a new age of e-bikes that have lights already inbuilt into them, integrated into that build fresh from the factory, from the likes of Bike with a fly-on, got Bianchi, great bikes, they all have inbuilt headlights. Now the great thing about these bikes is that the light is actually powered by the onboard battery, meaning there isn't much chance of the battery actually going flat on your light. Also you've got no flailing cables and a really sleek look. Light power is measured in lumens. A candle is around 13 lumens. The cheaper LED commuter style lights can be around 200 to 500 lumens. I think if you're hitting off-road trails, then you need to be at above 1,000 lumens ideally. To give you a rough idea of power, a car headlight is 700 lumens on low beam and 1200 on high beam. So bear that in mind when it comes to choosing your light's power. There are two options when it comes to mounting your front lights. You can run a bar mounted light, which you put on your handlebars, or you can stick one on your helmet. Now I think if you're just going to be riding on tame off-road trails, or obviously on the road, you can get away with a bar mounted light. But the moment you head off-road into the proper darkness, into technical terrain, then I think a helmet mounted light is going to work wonders. If you combine the two, then it's definitely going to be the best of both worlds. The great thing about a helmet mounted light is it allows you to spot lines and allows you to look around corners before your handlebars get there. And also things like steep drop-offs. If you go into that with a helmet mounted light, you can look down the bank and spot a line. With a bar mounted light, it's projected forwards and there's going to be a black spot, a dark spot suddenly as you drop into there waiting for that light to play catch up. A helmet mounted light is also really handy for those mechanicals and to look around you in the woods if you hear an odd noise. But you can get away with either. I suggest you head out to the woods and try your helmet mounted light or a bar mounted light, or try both, see what works for you. Your cheapest option for a front light is going to be these basic style LED units. Now these are to be seen with, not to see with. They're not that much good in an off-road situation, but on the road they are great. They're also great to stick in your backpack to get you out of trouble if your main lights were to fail. Now your next step up is going to be these internal battery style kind of lights. These are great again to be seen with. Some of the higher powered options can actually be great off-road too. Some of these units can be up to 1,600 lumens plus as well, so they're a good price point, but some of the mounts tend to be a little bit more flimsy for those really hardcore off-road enthusiasts. External battery lights like these ones are the sort of thing you're going to find on eBay and Amazon. They come in at really good prices and they do provide a lot of power and a lot of lumens for not a lot of money. Now we have heard horror stories about these things setting on fire in the middle of night when they're on charge, but I've also heard really good things about these lights, providing years and years of service. So they definitely come in at a good price point and something you definitely want to consider if you are hitting those trails just a few times. For the ultimate bar mounted light, then something like this Exposure 6-pack is something you definitely want to look at. It has literally thousands of lumens packed into it. It's an all-in-one package with an inbuilt battery, so you've got no flailing wires. It's also really intelligent light. It's got such things as an accelerometer in it, meaning that when you're trundling uphill, the light power is going to dim, but when you start going fast down a hill, it knows that, so it's going to increase in brightness too. Loads of fancy features and something that will last years and years of night riding. There is of course e-bike specific lights that you can wire into your bike's battery, and via the head unit on the bike you can display all that details of the light. You can toggle the power by the settings on the light too. It's a really good options and a real sleek way of having a light combined into that bike's battery, meaning you're never going to run out of battery on a ride too. Helmet mounted lights also come in a couple of different options too. You've got the external battery lights, meaning you can stick that battery pack in your backpack and stick that light on your helmet, meaning that you've got a wire going from your backpack to your helmet at all times, but they can offer big burn times for those bigger battery packs. Really good option too. Sometimes the mounts might be a bit flimsy too, but another option is going to be the internal battery style light like I've got on my helmet here. Now these have an inbuilt battery. They're a lot more lightweight and they offer the ultimate when you combine that with a bar mounted light for that ultimate night riding package. If you are riding any road sections whatsoever, you are going to need a rear light too. It's super important to get you seen out there on the roads. Now lots of different options for mounting this as well. You can get some options that wrap around the seat post. You can get some options that are magnetic that can stick to your clothing or your riding pack. I tend to prefer the latter one because it means that that light isn't going to be susceptible to all the mud and water flicking off the rear tyre, making it really hard to see. If you've got one mounted on the back of your jacket, on your helmet, it's out of harm's way. Just be sure to remove those lights if you are riding them off-road because they tend to rattle or come loose, or as I mentioned earlier, get covered in mud, meaning they're not going to be a lot of use when it comes to hitting the road on the way home. So there you go, I really hope you've enjoyed tonight's video all about lights and the different options and the different way you can mount them. But we want to hear from you guys. How do you go night riding? Do you use a helmet mounted light, or do you use a bar mounted light, or do you use both? Get involved, hit the comments down below. But if you want to stick around and check out another video, check out the commute video down here. Give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the globe in the middle of the screen to subscribe to EMBN. I'm off for a night session. Let's go.